What's up, everybody? Welcome to the My RC Life YouTube channel, where we do all things RC and a little bit of everything in between. Let's go!
What's going on, everybody? Texas Mike from My RC Life, and today we got a package. I can't wait to open it up. So I made a community post, I think it was last week, and it was a little clue into some upgrades coming for the Raminator. I contacted a company about some steering servos, just asking a question, and I have never seen such a quick response to an email. Within 4 or 5 minutes after submitting the email, I received a call back from the owner of the company, the owner, reassuring me, telling me about their product, telling me all the things that went into product and development for these servos, talking to me about other people that have used these specific items. And I hadn't even made a purchase yet. The company I am talking about is none other than Reefs RC. I have a Reefs 444 servo already in my Techno MT410. I just got another one in for my other Techno MT410. My JX servo took a crap, and this is a good servo. You know, the JX servo. It just had a gear go bad in it. But anyways, we got a new Reefs 444 for our second Techno. Well, I was so happy with that servo, that's why I decided to reach out to Reefs. Alright, let's see what we got in here. Oh, we got all kinds of stickers. Stickers for days. I can pass some of those out to some friends. And then it looks like I got a nice little banner for my RC storage area downstairs. You know, I already got a Traxxas banner and some other banners down there. Now I got a nice medium-sized Reefs banner for down in the RC storage area. Now it's time to get into the real treasure here. A set of Reefs Beast 2000 5th scale steering servos. Now let's check out the specs on this. It can go anywhere from 7.4 volts all the way up to 16.8. I mean, the torque on it is just crazy. 1,000 ounces at 10 volts. 1,250 ounces at 11.1 volts. 1,450 ounces at 12 volts. And 2,000 ounces at 16.8 volts. Now I'm going to be running a 3-cell to each of mine, so they're going to be running 1,250, which will be plenty enough. I'm going to be running 2 of them. That's going to be plenty enough to turn the Raminator. Well, let's pull one of these babies out. They do send you 2 aluminum arms. I mean, thick boys. Very thick units here. Yeah, it's cool because it gives you the measurements for these 2 holes. This one here would be 98 thousandths, and this one would be 1 inch 180 thousandths. Same thing on this one, except for this one's got a 3rd hole. So we got 98 thousandths, 1 inch 180, and 1 inch 380. Now let's pull out the bad daddy itself, the Beast 2000. Oh, that thing is just beastie. Now, this Reefs company is awesome. I have never seen a servo that had its own power supply. You got your ground and your signal wire there, and then you got this over here. And this is your power supply. They do send the servos with 2 options of power supply. You have one for a 3-cell LiPo or a 4-cell LiPo. And you simply just plug it into this. I think it's called a JS plug or a JT plug. Oh, it's called a JST plug. Plug that in. There, now you're hooked up for a 3-cell. If you want a 4-cell, you plug that into this. Now, when I talked directly to the owner, he said you're going to be using 2 of these on a Raminator. Hooking these up on 2 3-cells, each having their own 3-cells, would be totally fine. So the next step is putting these in the Raminator. And our latest banner on the wall, our Reefs RC banner. I think I'm going to start by getting the body off. Alright, get that body up off in there. Alright, take these off here. That should loosen up everything. Should get these to come off from your servos. Okay. I'm also going to loosen this servo saver up quite a bit because I think it's a little too tight. I want to give a little bit so it ain't so hard on those gears in the servos. Even though we're upgrading to the best servos on the market, I still would like to not be hard on them if I can. Alright, we got 4 bolts on each of these. Alright, those are all unbolted. I think before I get too far, I'm going to loosen up this servo saver. I recommend to all Raminator owners, especially someone running the stock servos, loosen up this nut right here till it's right level with the threads. I would definitely recommend this. I honestly believe if I would have done this, these servos would have lasted longer. Just as I thought, these lined up perfectly. I'm going to install it with the stock Raminator hardware. The Beast 2000 does come with these rubber mounts and these brass deals and stuff, but I'm just going to use these Raminator ones. I am going to use just a touch of Loctite, so a little Loctite will be okay in my mind. Okay. Now I'm going to split these a bit because I know the servo's going to plug in up here and the power supply I'm going to be putting up here somewhere. That's where the batteries are going to be. Plug it into channel 1. Left side is channel 2. Okay, those are all tightened up. Split these all the way down again. Now, our power wires got quite a bit of length on them here. Plus, we got a little bit more length with the adapter here. Once you get this plugged in, this JST cable. So we could put them anywhere. We could sit them back here if we wanted to. You know, we could put them on these bars. I kind of pictured this in my head because I kind of forgot about all these mounting places up here. I was picturing putting them on these 4-link bars. But that's down near a spinning drive shaft and stuff. You don't want to do that. But I'm thinking right up here on this plastic part of the front bumper. You know, it's on a piece of plastic that'll give. They're easy to get to when you got to pull them out to charge them. I think this is going to be my best bet. They plug into the balance plug. They don't plug into this part. So I have one facing this way, the balance plug this way, and I have the other facing this way with the balance plug that way. Something like that, I'm thinking. Got the battery stacked on top of each other, and the cables ran in like this, so when the Velcro goes around them, it's holding them both in tight. Okay, now that's in there pretty good, but it's going to be able to roll like that. So what I'm thinking is maybe one more strap to go around both of these and tie it right on there. There. Now they can move a little bit if I really push them, but they're not going anywhere. Plug these in. And we got a nice watertight fit there. Okay, we got both of those nice and tight there. And it's important to power these up before you put your linkage on to your steering, because these servos might not be in the center position. Okay, those are moving. Make sure you're in center. So they are completely centered. Turn our Raminator tires as close to center as we can. Then we got to get this spacer in on the back side, like that. And it's going to come up and sit like this. Then you got this big aluminum spacer that goes between here and here. Get that bad boy in there. Just like so. And then we're going to try to get these lined up onto our servos. Now you may have to loosen these bolts up to get these servos to lock on to each other at the same time. Like right now, mine don't seem to be doing that. So it looks like I'm going to have to loosen up at least one side, maybe both. What that's going to do is allow this to move on those slots. You see that? Might have to give them a little tappy tap. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I want to power them up one more time. Make sure they're not humming or fighting each other. And put on our center bolts here. We need to use these longer, guys, that come with the Reefs servos. Which I can understand. If you got something this strong, you don't want just a few little threads like that holding it in. You want a bunch. All right, now we're going to tighten up these guys here. Holy cow!
I'm watching the stoppers and the ends of the axles and the ends of the steering arms and stuff to see if I need to adjust my endpoints.
Now I'm going to change my endpoints a little bit because they do need to be adjusted just a bit. Alright guys, so I got them both set at 85% on my EPA on the controller. Let's make sure everything's decent and tight in here. One more thing I'm going to do is put some of this wire loom onto some of this servo wire here. Okay, now I got all this wire put in split conduit. I even wrapped the balance ports of the batteries in a little bit of split conduit. And yeah, did it all in split conduit. Now we just need to basically put this bad boy back on. I think that's it. Alright guys, we got the Raminator all put together. We're going to take this thing out and see how good she works with the new servos. Alright. Got that turned green. Okay, so I went outside to go start the Raminator, and I had to tip this thing sideways to get it through my doorway, and I kind of flooded it, and you see what I ended up with, a broken recoil. So I was really bummed out. I brought this thing back inside. I got it sitting up here on the bench, got the body off, and I went and started watching videos on how to pull the motor. Because this thing is in here pretty tight. You know, and you can get the 2 bolts, but you can't get to that 3rd one down there. And I thought about grinding this little guy down a little bit, but then that wouldn't work because this thing has to come out a little bit, and then it would have to come up through here. So anyhow, I'm watching videos on how to pull the motor, and I was planning on coming down here and pulling the motor, which involves taking these off, this crossbar here, unbolting the gas tank, taking the pipe off, taking a whole bunch of stuff off, and pulling the whole entire motor. I have to undo the springs down here on the exhaust. I mean, just a ton of stuff. Which, I mean, whatever, I could do it. But if I can get past it, why not try to get past it? And that's what I kind of figured out when I came down here. Because it shows you pulling the motor, taking this thing off, but on the other side. Well, I got looking, I was like, well, shoot. If I could take this thing off, I could take just the recoil off, fix the recoil, and be back going. So that's what we're going to attempt to do.
Tune in to the next video if you want to find out how to pull the recoil without pulling the whole motor. Thanks for watching another episode of My RC Life.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.